This lockdown has been a massive period of change for all of us, and there's some changes that have been made that we should definitely try and carry on when the lockdown is over. Here are 15 habits that I've personally developed during lockdown, and I'm sure you would have developed some of them as well, that I think would be great to continue when this is all over. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tally and it has been a long time since I've made a video like this. I haven't worn a bra or makeup in weeks and weeks and weeks, so I thought I would continue with this attire, this vibe with no makeup, baggy jumper, and just embrace the lockdown chic. I don't know about you, but I feel like I've been more sociable during this lockdown than I am usually. I'm video calling people all the time, I'm on the phone to my family, I've been organising like mass Zoom calls with like groups of friends who I haven't spoken to in ages, and it's honestly been so lovely. So this is definitely a habit that I'm going to continue after this lockdown, is to video call people more and phone people more, because it can be so hard to organise a get together, and while face-to-face interaction and socialising is the best way to go, with everyone's busy lives it can be so hard to coordinate a time when you can all meet up. So being able to spare an hour on an evening to do a Zoom call or a Google Hangout can be much easier to organise, and so much more likely to happen. In this super fast-paced world that we live in, we've all been forced to slow down, and it has honestly been lovely. This is something that, again, I'm definitely going to try and continue on. It's just stopping and taking a chance to breathe before rushing on with my day or rushing on with my to-do list. I'm very much productivity oriented, and like my self-worth depends on my productivity and my achievement. So this has been a really tough one for me, feeling like I don't have to have a to-do list as long as my arm and get through it in a day. But this is definitely something I'm going to try and carry on. Similar to this is making time for our hobbies. Because we've slowed down, we've had to slow down, we've had a bit more time to spend on fun things that we never have time to do. A lot of people have been baking, sewing, knitting, writing, painting, all of this cool stuff. My hobbies that I've made more time to do during this lockdown is looking after my plants. I'm a proper plant mum. I love going around and polishing the leaves and putting them in new pots and rearranging where they are in my house. I've started making videos on YouTube again, which is a hobby that I haven't done for quite a while, and now I'm making more time to do it. And I also love playing around with face paint and just having fun with it. So I've started doing that again. Follow me on my face painting Instagram if you want to see what I've been up to. Given our one government sanctioned walk of the day, I feel like everyone is really appreciating the outdoors and nature a whole lot more when you are limited to how long you can spend in it. We don't have a garden or really any outdoor space that we can use, and there is a park near us, but it's always so busy. We're like weaving in and out of people trying to keep the distance, so we haven't been going to the park that often. But what we have been doing is opening the window wide and letting the sun in and just sitting in the sun, the sound of the birds. There's some nice trees in the courtyard outside our flat, so just looking at the trees in the wind, it's been lovely. And when this lockdown lifts, I'm definitely going to be making the most of nature, going out on long hikes, going to see the mountains, exploring the local area. I'm very excited about that. Spending some real quality time with the people that you live with, or with yourself if you don't live with anyone. I live with my partner Adam, and we've been able to just spend some time together just sitting, because normally we're rushing off to work, we're trying to get meals cooked in the evening, we've got so much life admin to do that we just kind of see each other in passing. So it's quite nice to just have days upon days upon days of just being together and kind of negotiating that. It can be quite tricky, like you feel like you're in each other's pockets all the time. But as well as that, we've been making sure we've been spending time apart as well, so sitting in separate rooms and really spending time like with yourself and sitting in silence, because that is not something we do often enough. Meditation, journaling, all of that, just kind of sitting with myself and getting to know myself a bit better. Most people are working from home now. I'm actually on furlough, but I will be working from home from May again. And I think this is something that we can definitely take forward, even though it can be quite challenging, it can make you quite lonely. There are so many benefits to working from home. I read an article that said 2/3 of people in the UK feel more productive when they're working from home because there might be less distractions or you might be more comfortable. And it says that people in the UK working from home save an average of £44.78 on things like commuting, getting coffee, getting lunch out, nipping to the shops after work. So it saves money, it makes us more productive. The CO2 emissions in the world have gone down so much from people not commuting. In my workplace in particular, we've coped so well with the change and we've all got used to working from home and we're still working together really well. So I think going forward, a lot of companies will be telling people to work from home more, or giving people that option at least. With regards to food, we've been really good at using what's available to us. So going through your freezer and using all the food that's been sat there for a little while, making sure that we're not wasting any food, and really planning ahead with our meals. So we've been trying to do shopping every other week rather than every week that we used to do. So we've really had to plan ahead and think about what we need, which has probably saved us quite a lot of money and has also meant that we've had to be really conscious about what we're eating rather than just like nipping to the shops and grabbing whatever. And following on from planning ahead and being prepared, it's been really nice to prepare meals properly and take the time to cook and like create really extravagant meals that you wouldn't normally have the time to create, rather than just rushing and shoving something in the oven. There's something about taking the time to cook yourself a meal that makes it taste so much better. I feel like there's been a whole lot less impulse purchases. For me, when the lockdown first started, I did have some impulse online purchases. I guess I had more time to like scroll on like online shops and stuff, but I think overall there will have been less impulse purchases because you're not walking past the shops all the time, nipping into the shops just to look at one thing and coming out with a load of other things. While it's not a good thing that the shops on the high street will be suffering, not a good thing for the economy, not a good thing for the people working in those shops, it will be a good thing for my bank account personally, because we've not had a daily routine of getting up, going to work, coming home, having dinner, etc. We've had to really make a routine for ourselves in order to keep sane. So I think that's definitely something to carry forward, having a little morning or evening routine to get your day started or wind down your day, because this makes sure you incorporate all the good habits that you want to continue and you give yourself time for them and give yourself a space to do that. For the last week or so, we've had a morning routine of getting up, getting breakfast, and then opening the window in our bedroom and sitting in the sun for a little while, just taking in the vitamin D with sun cream on, of course, and then getting started into our day. And it's been so nice. This probably isn't something we'll be able to do, you know, when we are back to working 9 to 5 in an office, but having that routine, even though the routine itself might change, is something that I do want to take forward. I'll be honest, I don't really know how coronavirus is doing. I haven't been paying attention to the news. I don't know about the number of cases or anything. And I think that is something to definitely take forward, to moderating the news intake. While we've been online loads more and in front of screens loads more, which is, you know, you can't really avoid that. I think being mindful of what news you're taking in and what stories you're taking in and how that makes you feel is definitely something to take forward even after this lockdown. I'm not really a massive news reader myself, but at the start of the lockdown, even I succumbed to reading the news and getting really overwhelmed with all the scary stories that were going on. So after that, I made a conscious decision to stop consuming that news, or at least limit it, so that I can get on with my day and have some mental space for everything else that's going on. Oh my God, we have actually had time to sleep and sleep properly and sleep for a good amount of time. Even though, you know, it's still good to get up in the morning and get going with your day, especially if you're working from home or if you're not, to create that routine. I feel like we've had time to sleep properly, and when we've not had a good night's sleep, we've just turned the alarm off and let ourselves lie in for a couple of hours. Or because we've not been commuting to work, we've been able to sleep in a bit and then roll up to your working from home space 10 minutes before you're due to start and that's not a problem. And I feel so much better for having more sleep. So we used to walk to work every day, and we haven't been doing that, and we haven't been going out for our daily walks either, so the step count is definitely way down, but I've been making sure to move my body pretty much every day. I've been having some rest days definitely, but doing lots of yoga, doing home workouts, which isn't something I used to do at all. That's definitely something I'm going to continue doing after the lockdown, is making an effort to move my body more. Even though after lockdown I probably will be getting those steps in, so I will be getting the exercise that I need, but taking the time to move my body feels great and I want to keep doing it basically. This has been a really scary time and people's emotions have been all over the place, but I think something that we've all kind of learnt to do or are working towards learning to do is being kind to ourselves and just accepting how we're feeling and not trying to control it and not trying to change it, just being with those feelings. And this is definitely a mindset to continue doing in the long term, just being kind to ourselves. Me and Adam have been very lucky that our income has stayed the same, so we've been making an effort to support local businesses, because when this is all over, I want my favourite cafes to still be open and still be running. So we've been buying from local businesses and places like cafes and restaurants that don't have products to sell. We've been buying vouchers so they can have the financial support now, and we get a nice treat when this is all over. We get to go visit the restaurants. So if you have that kind of disposable income at the moment, I think it's a really great thing to support local businesses, and this is something that I'm definitely going to be continuing going on because I miss them and I want to be able to visit these businesses. I want them to keep running after all this. Have I missed any? Are there any habits that you've developed that you're definitely going to be continuing after lockdown? Let me know in the comments. I would love to read them. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it if you've enjoyed it. That really helps me out, and subscribe to my channel so that you can see more of my videos. Thank you so much. Bye.